Once it got going, What If is a really good film. This was released in 2010. It's directed by Dallas Jenkins and it stars Kevin Sorbo as Ben. We have Kristy Swanson as Wendy and John Ratzenberger as Mike the Angel. And I wouldn't have heard of this film had it not been for Ratzenberger. And his character's in it a decent amount. And he plays, as the name suggests, an angel who helps to guide Ben in the right direction. Ben, we learn very quickly, is doing very well in his career. He is all about the money. He likes making money, and when he has money, he feels like he's made a success of himself. However, very early on in the film, there's a problem with his car, and Mike the Angel appears to tow the car away, and obviously it's revealed that he is not just Mike the tow truck person, he is the angel there to guide Ben, and the way he guides Ben into his new life is pretty violent. For an angel, I have to say, it's pretty violent. But Ben wakes up and it's this other life where he is married to somebody he used to love, and all of a sudden he has these two children, one a grown-up teenage daughter, one a much younger daughter, and obviously he's baffled because he didn't expect it. And the film is pretty much all in that timeline as he comes to grips with this different way of living. And obviously the film answers the question of what if? What if he hadn't let that woman go? That woman, of course, being Wendy, Kristy Swanson's character. What if they'd stayed together, got married, had children? It would be a very different life. And something that makes that very apparent is the fact that, first of all, the family hasn't got a lot of money. And second of all, he's in a very different line of work, as he's actually a clergyman. And he's not brilliant in it to begin with, but as the film progresses and as Ben begins to realise why he is being shown this other life, he starts to become more comfortable in this role. And I will say it is very, very religious. For me, that's fine. In fact, I lap that up completely. I really enjoy that part of the film. That is something that I know some people won't care for, and there are many, many films where we have an angel character who shows the protagonist either the error of their ways or an alternative life, and they're not very religious. But this one religion, I should say Christianity specifically, is very much at the heart of this narrative and the messages, and for me, really thoroughly enjoyed that aspect of it. And my only tiny complaints, one complaint is actually going to contradict myself, and that complaint is that we didn't get enough time setting up before we got to the point. Usually I'm the opposite. Normally I like films to get to the point immediately. Let's not waste time setting up too much. But this one I feel like we could have done with maybe just 5 more minutes getting to know Ben's previous life. It was established pretty quickly what kind of person he was and what kind of life he had, but I think just a little bit longer so that when he is thrown into this alternative life, the contrast is more powerful. And the film itself is nearly 2 hours. It doesn't necessarily need to be. There is quite a bit of fluff to begin with. I don't mean at the very beginning, but once he is thrown into this alternative life, it is slow. It definitely takes a while to get going. But around the 1 hour mark, things really picked up and I began to really thoroughly enjoy it. And it's very, very thought provoking. And I think it's something we can all relate to. I think we all think, what if? And I know the argument is often you can't think what if because the past is in the past. But this film shows that actually sometimes you have the chance to redirect your life, redirect your path. If you've taken the wrong direction, sometimes you can't think what if and maybe channel your energies in a different way. And this is, of course, what Ben is being shown by the wonderful Mike the Angel. So I really enjoyed it. Great performance from Kevin Sorbo as Ben. Yeah, it's a little slow. It's very quick to begin with, a little too quick, and then it really slows down. And as I said, about the hour mark, give or take, things become much more enjoyable. And I think something we can all benefit from experiencing. Some of us perhaps more than others, but certainly I really thoroughly enjoyed it. And if you ever think, what if? It might not be too late to find out. if that's really something you're interested in. And if you're interested in the religious aspect of this film, I think you'll really enjoy that too. So, all things considered, I definitely do recommend What If. It's not a perfect film, but I was pleased to see it, and I probably would watch it again. I thank John Ratzenberger for being in it and for giving me an excuse to discover this film. I really enjoyed his role in this, of course. But even if he hadn't been in it and I'd heard of it, I still would have liked it. What If? Maybe not perfect, but definitely still a pretty great film.